Welcome to our 5 on 5. I'm pleased to be joined today by Dr. Tom Jeanne, Deputy State Health Officer and Deputy State Epidemiologist at the Oregon Health Authority. Dr. Jeanne, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, let's get into it. The OHA just launched a new campaign called Rethink the Drink. Tell me more about the campaign and why it's so important for people living in Oregon.
Yes, we've launched a statewide media campaign to highlight how excessive alcohol use harms our individual health and the health of our communities. Many people in Oregon may be drinking too much alcohol and not realize it. So this is a prevention campaign that's focused on all adults age 21 and older living in Oregon. And what we really think is we need a new way to think about alcohol. Many of us cross the line into drinking too much, partly because society makes it so easy. And we aren't telling people to stop drinking. We're just asking that they think about the way alcohol is prevalent in their own lives, their communities, and we're raising awareness of the numerous health effects that alcohol has. Our hope is that people in Oregon start to talk about excessive drinking and how it's affecting their well-being, and reflect on how we can support each other in drinking less. Our goal is to improve the health of our communities and prevent alcohol use disorders. And we're proud to say this is the first campaign of its kind for any state in this country. No other state is talking about excessive alcohol use at the scale that we are.
Okay, so what does excessive drinking mean?
There are two types of excessive drinking, and both can harm your health in the long term. There is heavy drinking, which is 15 drinks or more on average over a week for men. And for women, that's 8 drinks or more per week. And then there's binge drinking, and that's when a man has 5 or more standard drinks on one occasion, or for a woman, it's 4 or more drinks. It's also true that for some people, drinking any alcohol is too much. And no matter who you are, drinking less alcohol is better for your health than drinking more.
Got it. Okay, and how many adults living in Oregon are drinking excessively?
More than 1 in 5 people living in Oregon drink excessively. And most of those who are drinking excessively are not dependent or diagnosed with an alcohol use disorder. But the health harms, the safety risks, and the economic costs are still substantial. We know that the per capita consumption of alcohol in Oregon is actually higher than the national average. Each person in Oregon over the age of 14 consumes about 577 drinks per year. On average. We also know that certain populations in Oregon experience more of the unjust stressors and the disadvantages due to things like racism and discrimination. And that leads to higher rates of harms related to alcohol. So that includes our Black and our Native American communities, as well as people with lower incomes and less education. Finally, we have data showing that alcohol consumption did increase during the COVID-19 pandemic, as some people were coping, well, all of us were coping with stress and changes to daily life caused by the virus, and some people ended up drinking more alcohol.
Very good. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Of much more with Dr. Jeanne in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. I'm joined by Dr. Tom Jeanne, Deputy State Health Officer and Deputy State Epidemiologist at the Oregon Health Authority. Dr. Jeanne, how does alcohol affect our physical and behavioral health?
So our Rethink the Drink campaign is trying to shed light on the less talked about harms related to alcohol. So, for example, excessive alcohol use increases the risk of liver disease, but also several different cancers, including breast cancer, colorectal cancer, and cancers of the head and neck. It also increases your risk of high blood pressure, strokes, and heart disease. In addition, excessive alcohol use can cause anxiety, depression, and memory loss. And of course, it does contribute to motor vehicle deaths and violence and suicide. But when it comes to alcohol-related deaths, those motor vehicle deaths are really just the tip of the iceberg. In Oregon, we have more than 2,000 people die each year from excessive alcohol use. And in fact, excessive alcohol use is the 3rd leading cause of preventable death in Oregon. So ultimately, we want the public to know that when you drink less, you lower your risk for these and many other serious health problems.
And last question, where can people go for more resources about excessive drinking or information on this campaign?
We encourage people to visit rethinkthedrink.com. That's the website for this campaign. It's a great source for information on alcohol, excessive drinking, and how alcohol impacts our health. It also has steps that we can take to reduce alcohol-related harm in our communities, and it has support resources, including the Alcohol and Drug Helpline number. And then just remember that you can also talk to your healthcare provider about your alcohol use and your health. That's always a great idea. And people can also connect with their local public health departments or prevention specialists to find local resources in their community.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. We'll be right back.